Hey guys, Trigger John coming at you with another Awaken Chaos Era video. So today's video, we have two things. One, I have officially been accepted into the Awaken Chaos Era content creation program. Very excited about that. The second thing, as you can see behind me here, we do have the tier list. Now, this will look a little familiar. This is the official Chofly community tier list. I decided with Chosen and our community that we need to update this and go a little bit deeper into the mechanics that really define what makes a good character, where they're used at. I feel like this is a really good resources for everybody. And I hope by the end of this video, you want to click that link and go check it out. Alrighty, so first things first, I want to put out a full disclosure on the tier list. By no way, shape, or form is a tier list something that you should go off of as 100% biased to tell you what characters to make, who to upgrade, where exactly to use them, so on and so forth. A tier list is literally just designed to kind of give you more of a perspective as to where we come from as the community, how we feel these characters are viable and what areas they are. The reason why we do these tier lists is to help you make a more informed decision on what characters you want to build, progress, if you think they're worth it. Also, if you disagree with anything in our tier list, feel free to reach out to myself, Chosen, anyone in the Chofly community that's a officer above. We will gladly address anything with the tier list within reason. With that also being said, that means this document will be a live document. So think of it this way, this document may look like this today, but tomorrow you may open it up and it may look completely different. For anyone who was looking at it within the last day or two, this looked a lot different the last 2 days because I've been working on it. Because I've been working on it, we've been changing the gradients, we changed a lot about it. We added in all the dungeons, so now we have, as you can see here, we have the Tulpa is added, Magisteria is added, Queen of Tides, Witch of the Winds, Gemini Dragon, Endless Trials, Void Tower, and Guild Boss. And we've updated the current Chofly top 5. That is mainly because it's kind of changed since the last time we really talked about this and revisited this. We have had quite a bit of changeover, actually. We've had balancing, we've had more things come to light. A lot of these tier lists, when they're built, they're kind of built on speculation of, oh, well, so-and-so uses them here, or we're going to take their kits and we're going to use that as a baseline. This tier list was no different. We started off, Chosen and I went through, we looked at every single kit. We graded that kit. That was what the final grade was. But we're both the type of people where we don't like the whole S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, because I feel like that skews way too much. I definitely don't want to see, like, for example, we have champions here that are amazing for Endless Trial and Void Tower, but they're not going to be useful very much else. Like, for example, Ricard. You're not going to use Ricard in any of the dungeons, but he's great for a campaign farmer, and he's amazing for like Endless Trials and Void Tower for clearing waves. He's also very good in the Guild Boss. But if I were to just take that into consideration, he could weigh out and be like we could say, oh, he's an SS tier, and you'd use him, but you didn't need him in where you wanted to build him. You know what I mean? It skews things too much by having and limiting a character to a letter grade. So this way, what we do is we have a tier grade. Now, we do have this is a PvE tier grade. The reason why is because this is all PvE content that they're graded on. They're graded on their Tulpa, Magisteria, Queen of Tides, Witch of the Winds, Gemini Dragon, Endless Trials, Void Tower, and Guild Boss. Now, Guild Boss could change a little bit. One other thing to note with Guild Boss is if they are ranked high in Guild Boss, it's because they're ranked high for the element that they are as a character, or the element that they're strong against. For example, William. William is a water unit, as you can see here. If we scroll all the way over, he is ranked as a 10 in the Guild Boss because of his counterattack, his defensive down, and his ally or joint attack A1. He's ranked a 10, and the reason why is because you will want to use him in your Water Guild Boss, and you're probably going to want to use him in your Fire Guild Boss. But that does not mean he is a 10 in the Wind Guild Boss. You could use him, actually, it does work out okay. But for the most part, when you see stuff like this, I want to have like a full disclosure, because I don't want you to get hoodwinked or feel like you read this tier list expecting to have all of your answers and have all unlimited knowledge. and then go, but this didn't work out, John. I didn't like, you know what, you get where I'm going with this, right? And I also didn't want to add different tiers and go guild boss, wood, fire, and water, because then that's going to skew the average a lot. Because basically all we're doing is we're going to take these grades and we're going to average them. And when we average them, that is their PvE tier grade. That's the most accurate and honest way you can really judge a character. And this way, when you hear people say, oh, Evelyn Firston, she's really good. She is really good. But as you can see here, you can see where she's very good. And you're gonna see about the number as far as like where you could really use her as a viable resource. Anything above, I would say anything 7.5 or above is gonna be a viable resource. Anything that's a 9 or above is gonna be okay, you definitely wanna prioritize getting that kind of a character for that area of the game. Now this will be a living document, so this will change rather drastically and very often. So definitely keep that in mind. We've also got to where you can filter it. So say you want to do the filtering here and you want to clear these out and you want to say, okay, well, I want to look at the soul plunders. As you can see here, you'll see the soul plunders. It'll pop it up here. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Say, for example, you want to select all, hit okay. Go into your rarity. You can clear this and say, I just want to see legendary characters. And this will give you the list of all the legendaries. And it's going to give you with all their grades, their element, where they're located, and so on and so forth. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. If you have questions, comments, concerns, definitely reach out, let us know. The other thing that I want to bring up here is as we make videos and content on this game, if we do any character guides, for example, I have an Imogen video, I'm going to link that Imogen video within this champion tier list, okay? So if you go into this tier list at a certain point in time and we have done a guide, so to speak, for like Connor, for Imogen, Zitlin, Brand, all these characters here, you know, because these are all characters that a lot of people have questions about how to build, where to use them, so on and so forth. Now, if you want to know the answers, we will link these videos right in here. Just like when you hover over this tier list video, you will see a video pops up. This was Chosen's last video on the tier list. When I get done with this tier list, I'll probably replace it with mine, or we'll do a semi drop down so that way you can pick mine or his video to kind of goes over the tier list. And then we'll do the same thing for champions. So as people in the Chofly community do it, we'll go ahead and we'll link them in here. That way you can hover over the name. It'll tell you if we've made a video on it. If we have, you can click on it and then redirect you to the YouTube channel, which we have the video on. I'm also not opposed to linking other people's content in the tier list, because like I said, this is a community resource. You know, this is for everybody in the Chofly community. This is for everybody in the Awaken Chaos Era community. The whole thing about doing content creation, about working together and, you know, playing these types of games is all about the collaboration, the togetherness, the working together, the, you know, the willing to do the theory crafting and the logic defining battles, so on and so forth. So we really have to come together as a team, as a collective, as a whole, and really make like one resource be the resource that rules them all, so to speak. But we need to do that as a collaborative. Not everybody has all the answers, and I definitely don't have all the answers. But that's going to be pretty much it. I am going to go ahead, let me fix this, let me slide this over here so you can see a little bit more on this tier list here. For those of you who have not clicked on the link yet, the link will be down below. But as you can see here, let's go ahead and talk about the Chosen current top 5. Now, the reason why we're going to talk about these is because I did update them. These are going to be with the most current meta as of right now. And they kind of resonate home. There's going to be a couple things that kind of take away from this. So notice that Chofly current top 5 legendary. The first one is Brand, amazing support character. You could just get him in a Magic Pass not long ago. If you missed out, I'm so sorry. That's a bummer. But I would say he's about number 1. He's one of the best utility champions out there. Next, we're going to talk about is Gangelo. Gangelo, depends on how you pronounce his name. He's an amazing champion as well. His poison damage alone puts him at like almost a 10 across the board because he can do all the content. He's definitely that good. Blackhorn was a black sheep when we did this tier list originally. He has been buffed and now he has basically become the healer to rule all the healers. Evelyn Firston, she was number 1. She still makes the list because a lot of people underutilize her. She has an ability that makes it to where you basically get an additional round. You pair that with Winstrix, you're forever getting an additional round. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Evelyn Firston. I can't wait to get her myself so that way I can use her to make all the ungodly comps. Next we have is Valeria. Valeria was one of my favorites from the beginning. I had her and Valbereth at the very beginning. She was a carry in Mythic. She was also a carry once I hit Void Tower. She came full circle. She is definitely one of the best AoE nukers for the fire element, and definitely someone you can put in Avarice and do even more damage. Next, we have epics. Now, the epics, these are the top epics that I recommend. We're going to talk about them real quick. Zatlux. Most everybody knows about our boy Zatlux. He's a beast, okay? Only requires 70% crit rate. Easy to get that crit damage up, attack up. He just goes through. He's a single target nuker that then does almost like an AoE splash damage when he gets a kill. It's an amazing ability. I love it. It's so powerful. Nathalia is going to be the second one. She's an amazing AoE damage dealer if you have buffs on her. For each buff, she does get a damage boost. And it does cap out at like 240% damage on the A3, but if she gets a kill, it resets. It's a whole big thing. It's really good. Put her in a curse set. She's going to do a lot of damage for you. William, well, we just talked about William. He graded out really well across the board. Guild boss even. Definitely an amazing character. He easily is top 3. These 3 characters, in my opinion, are the best synergy in the game. When I push the Void Tower content, I use just these 3 characters and a Winstrix, and it was GG, which also brings me to the next one, which is going to be Arak. He's going to be one of the best single target nukers for the fire element because his damage scales with enemy max HP, as well as he's fairly easy to get crit rate and crit damage on. Last but not least of the epics is going to be Winstrix. Everybody sleeps on Winstrix. They don't understand where she's good at. She's kind of good everywhere. She is a speed booster. She is a ultimate resetter. She is a speed down placer, and she can reduce the cooldown potentially on some of your abilities. She's an amazing character, amazing kit. She is a Endless Trials Void Tower god, in my opinion, because she makes everything easy to where you can just do a first hit right off the bat. PO3, you definitely want to Winstrix. There's a lot of things that we're sleeping on here. I think she's even more valuable than people realize. Next we have is elites. Now there are very few, there's a lot of elites that are kind of viable, but there's very few that I really want to mention on like a top 5. But if I had to pick 5, I'm going to say Charles because of his defensive abilities. He can smack as a single target nuker. And being that he's a defensive scaling character, then he's fairly hard to kill. Connor, he's the best fire healer. I think the only fire healer. He also does attack up and the shield up, which is amazing. He has saved my butt countless times. I have used him in many compositions. He's definitely very useful. Next we have is Rodira. Now, Rodira is not the best healer in the wood element, but she's definitely notable. I would say she's probably the second best. Mathasia, I think, does heal a little bit better than her, but honestly, Rodira is just so much of more of a budget healer that she is in a lot of comps. She's very good in Queen of the Tides, Tulpa. Anywhere you need a wood healer, Rodira will suffice, 100%. Next we're going to talk about is Valuk. Valuk is a good poisoner. He's a good minion, so to speak. He can be used as a taunt dummy because you leave him at a low level. People target him. It's funny. It works. Or you can use him for poisons because he does have a 50% chance to place a poison. His rest of his kit isn't terrible either. So overall, he's not a terrible character. He's very useful in a lot of different compositions, especially paired with Rodira and Santis. Next we have is Rogue. Rogue has an interesting kit, and yeah, he's just generally useful. I mean, for an elite champion, he's just kind of generally useful. He's easy to build. He sustains, he heals himself. Like, he does a lot of different things. He's definitely viable to use in a lot of different content. But that is going to be it for the chosen top 5. That is all the elites, the epics, and the legendaries described. The tier list has been now updated, so definitely feel free to go look at it. You can definitely click the link that I have. It'll be listed below in the comments and in the description. Use that link. It'll take you to this tier list. Use it as much as you would like. Make a copy of it if you'd like to add some few notes or something like that to it yourself. And if you'd like to be able to filter it and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this tier list helps you. And yeah, can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace.